Good morning. Oh shit. We back. We are back. How's everybody doing? My name's Greg. This is my story about 10 years of sobriety as the drunk motherfucker. 2022. Here we go. Life transformation. Right? We got our new graphics. We getting all high tech over here with this live show. All the fans, all the watchers coming through. I just want to introduce new guests. My name's Gregory Scargill, born and raised here in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And this year, 2022, marks 10 years of sobriety. I'm someone that was born into a boozy family. Back in the days, felt like I had alcoholic tendencies from about the time I was 15 years old. Was already practicing becoming an alcoholic, and I've chronicled through this show and through many of my exploits, that persona that I took on with my toxic relationship with alcohol as the drunk motherfucker. Right? Always fucking around, always starting shit, always getting belligerent. How many of y'all wake up this morning with some gratitude, right? Everybody jump out of bed this morning? Everybody super fucking excited to take life on, right? Some of y'all got the day off yesterday. Hopefully you went outside, right? Hopefully you got some time to take care of you, go outside in nature, right? Start enjoying life. I know that's hard for a lot of you. A lot of you are miserable. Today's gonna be the most Monday-ish Tuesday ever, right? Because you ain't happy, you ain't excited for life. But this is my morning show. Guess what? We do life 7 days a week. We ain't taking no days off until we finally take that dirt nap. And I'm chronicling and sharing with y'all the pain and suffering, the victories. There's been a lot, right? And we all experience it, them highs and lows of life, right? We get hooked up, we get caught up in life, start letting shit go, start letting little things slide, one thing at a time. And then next thing you know, it's gone. You're done. The dream. So I've been challenging all you to get the fuck on here with your dang journal. Everybody doing some journaling yet? Some journaling. Journaling, man. We had someone go get some therapy last week. All right, that therapist told him, guess what? He needs to start journaling. And I've been talking about that now for 2 weeks. We're going on that's just gonna be the third week. I appreciate everyone that's been reaching out behind the scenes. Y'all stacking up back there, right? I feel like back in the good old days with the trailer platoon, right? We doing that CQB, man. We knocking down the doors, flash bangs, pop, 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 body, brain, body, brain, right? Clearing rooms, the good old days. I feel like we got that stack, right? We got that SWAT team. We got the stack. We're starting to stack people up saying what? You know what? Shit, man, I need some fucking help. I need help. And so I'm coming on here as a way for me to share my story, right? Of transformation, of choosing to say no to my biggest vice, right? The most toxic relationship, the hardest relationship for me to end was alcohol, right? At the end of the day, all the heartache, all the pain, the suffering, man, any enjoyment that I ever had in a party is never equal, right, to the pain and suffering I have felt by the consequences, right, of breaking the law, 2 DWIs, being arrested for domestic violence, being abusive towards my wife in the eyes of my kids, just a terrible situation, my darkest night, right? That darkest day of just losing myself. as who I was, as who I should be, right? And it's taken me 10 years to get to this place where I can truly own my truth, right? You guys, we've been developing this program, and I keep showing up every single day, right? I'm going to keep showing up, man. I don't give a fuck, right? If I have signal, right? I will get on here, you guys. Even if it's 5 minutes, I don't care if I'm on a vacation. I don't care if there's a beach behind me. I'm going to put this message out because it's making a difference, right? It's truly making a difference, right? So this is like coffee with a bang, right? That's why we got grenades on there. That grenade right there, you see that little pin? If you want to start complaining about how I'm talking, you want to start complaining about my story, you go and pull that fucking pin, right? Boom! You go blow yourself up, because don't come at me, right? I've been telling all you motherfuckers, don't be coming at me. I know I'm hurting a lot of you, right? Because that's what the truth does. And we hate it because we got our fixed mindset. We got all these beliefs, right? Everybody's been telling us how it's supposed to be, right? We don't take the time to do our own research. We're caught up in our beliefs, these fixed beliefs, these cultural norms, right? Everybody wants to get polarized. Are we, am I a Democrat, Republican? Am I a Christian? Am I an atheist? All these different titles, right? All these social issues. And it's like everything is externally focused, right? It ain't giving us back nothing but stress, right? Who the hell thinks about politics in this day and age and don't get stressed the fuck out? Who the fuck thinks about politics these days and doesn't think, man, all these motherfuckers are corrupt, all these motherfuckers are crooked, the system's busted, and that's why we don't talk about that shit here. It don't make a difference which team you celebrating, which team you're rooting for. This is your motherfucking life. Ain't nobody coming to rescue you today. If you're in a rough fucking spot, ain't nobody coming to rescue you. You got to figure some shit out and quit sitting there just letting days go by, acting as if this shit don't fucking matter. Every single day, you guys, I've been there. I've been there when it's just painful to do what? Waking up with some gratitude. And that's what we talk about here. Every single fucking day, you got to get up with a purpose, right? It takes me, from the minute my alarm goes off, and I'm lucky enough that I'm regimented with my daily routine, that a lot of the times I wake up just a little bit before my alarm. But right away, you guys, the minute I wake up, like, I don't just jump out of bed, right? I literally sit there and I say, oh, wow, it's a new day. And I just start to collect my thoughts. Like, where is my mind? Am I stressed out about something I didn't do yesterday? Am I coming out of a dream that was stressing me out about some part of my life that I'm not proud of, or, thinking about, a problem I have to deal with today, right? That's not how you want to start your day. And this is what this is all about. This is the real breakthrough, you guys, is when you can start really observing your thoughts. And that's this whole piece with the journaling. That's where journaling comes in, because most of us don't realize how many motherfucking thoughts we have every minute, every hour, every day, right? For you to actually chalk up and start inventorying, holy shit, how many thoughts are you having? What are your thoughts about? What are you thinking about every day? Are you thinking about, how you are proud of yourself because yesterday you did something new, right? You did something just for you, right? You didn't do it because your spouse wanted you to do it. You didn't do it because your kids wanted you to do it, or just someone else wanted you to do it. You are starting to think in terms of, what do you want? What do you want to do? Right? And I talked about this last week. I doubt, it's unfortunate that a lot of you are still on the sidelines, right? That's what we're programmed for. Someone gets on the screen, guess what? You're used to just sitting there and just watching this shit. You're used to just sitting there watching shit, and that's not this. That's not this, right? You need to start participating. Because what I'm really asking you to do right now is to start participating in this thing called your life. Not my life. This is your life. You need to start participating. Some of y'all just going through the fucking motions, man. I'm not even kidding you guys. This week, maybe even through next week, I'm gonna dig that dirt box. I'm gonna start recording from outside in a fucking dirt box, man. Because some of y'all is like that. Some of y'all have already dug the grave, right? You've already dug that dirt box, and you're just sitting in there. You're just waiting for someone to backfill it because you're so fucking depressed. I've been there. I've fucking been there. Everybody else been there, right? Has anybody else been there to where waking up grateful, right? Grateful. I'm already messing up shit. Look, I could see that. We all make mistakes, right? Grateful. Save. Waking up grateful. What are we grateful for? Anything. Anything. Clearly, if you just aren't grateful for a whole bunch of shit, it's harder. But I've been talking to you guys about what does it take to get some different perspective, right? If you're just walking around stressed like a motherfucker every day, just stressed, just depressed, you're dealing with some real life shit, right? Could be addiction. It could just be finances. It could be occupation. You could be stressed the fuck out with this COVID, this pandemic. Holy fuck, we're going into the 3rd year of this shit. 2 weeks, they said. 2 weeks. In 2020, I remember I was an elementary teacher. We're getting ready to go on spring break. They said 2 weeks. You get spring break, and then we're going to take 1 more week, and we're going to be right back at it. And some of y'all motherfuckers just got crushed. Y'all got crushed when everything shut the fuck down. Because all your little escapes, everything that keeps your mind preoccupied was shut the fuck down. And y'all didn't know what to do except for do what? Go to your vices. Because when everything that stimulated you externally, right, was shut the fuck down, that means you had to sit there. You had to sit at home. You had to spend time with someone that you probably weren't used to spending that much time to. Some of you people in these relationships, I've heard and I know some of these relationships, got even more toxic, even more stressful, right? Even more strained because there you are is having to spend time with someone else. And guess what? You can't put on that you can't put on that fake shit forever. You can't put on the fake shit all the time, right? You could go be whoever you are at work and your spouse and goes and becomes whoever they are at work, right? But y'all putting on some fake shit. And that's what this is all about for me. It's about this is me. I now own my truth. I was so fucking ashamed of all the mistakes, all the criminal shit, right? That made me feel like a fucking life failure as a man. I'm feeling like, damn, I'm a failure, right? I can't control this drinking and driving thing, but I'm lucky, right? That first DWI, 1998, rolling a Jeep, I should have been dead. My passengers, they should all been dead. Didn't happen. Didn't learn my lesson. 9 years to the day, 2007, right? Getting caught up drinking. Some bullshit happened. I'm still holding back that second DWI because that needs to be a story in and of itself. But again, I didn't learn my lesson. So then I get sober for 3 years, right? Dry drunk, mad as fuck, pissed off at the world. Woe is me. Why the fuck is this shit happening to me? I hate everyone. I hate everything. That kind of attitude. And right there at 2007, the reason why this is really important because my daughter was born that year, my first child. And I can remember my ex-wife at the time. We were married, but I can remember, them getting me out of jail, right? Those doors opening, they regaining my sense of freedom. And there's the stroller, and there's my ex, man. You talk about some fucking humiliation, man, as a man, as a father, as a husband, right? That's humiliating. Getting caught up with my vices, right? I was successful, had a business, promotional products, out in Southern California, Orange County, San Clemente, California. All my What's Your Science peeps, what's up? This motherfucker's still getting after it. Ain't nothing changed. Just still getting after it. I just I don't drink. I don't act a fool no more. I still do act crazy. All right. That's the funny thing. Most of us go to those vices because, and I said this yesterday, it's like as kids, right? We were kids already forming these very, very addictive behaviors, these very codependent behaviors, one with each other, right? A bunch of bad influences, bunch of kids making bad decisions, doing fucking bad shit, and using drugs and alcohol. And that shit don't bring you nothing but pain, nothing but bad decisions. Who here ever went to their first social gathering called a party and had that first drink or got high for the first time, snorted some coke for the first time and said, this is amazing. I'm going to be a fucking addict for the rest of my life. No one does that. None of us do that, right? Did anybody go to their first party and say, man, I'm going to be a fucking addict for the rest of my life. All my potential, all my future happiness and joy is going to be all wrapped into this fucking substance that don't do nothing good for me but bring me more heartache and pain and suffering. Man, that fucking joy only lasts for like a second. I'd get all giddy, right? For those first few rounds, that's it. And then after that, guess what? The drunk motherfucker coming out, starting shit, starting fights. Any of my old friends, whether you were in the military or just knew me socially growing up, high school, or fucking just as an adult, man, if you knew me as a drinker and you were a close friend of mine, I guarantee you we fought. I fought all my friends because I was a belligerent fucking asshole. And that's what caused a lot of my fucking problems. And I'm just grateful, you guys. I'm grateful to have been through this transformation. And it's been a long journey. And I'm grateful to share this story with you guys to hopefully inspire more and more and more of you each and every day to start looking at your life. Quit worrying about what everybody else fucking thinks about it. Right? This shit, yes, there's a lot of shit I've done that I'm ashamed of, but I'm not going to stay in my shame. I have now accepted myself, and I'm asking you to start a journey of self-acceptance, self-discovery, self-gratitude, and love and care, right? We want all this love from everyone else, right? We want so many people. We want to be accepted. Right? That's the biggest thing. Most of us, we just want to be accepted, right? We all see these memes just, I just want to be accepted for who I am. Well, most of you motherfuckers don't know who you are. So you're trying to ask somebody from the outside to love you for someone you don't know who you are. That's why you get into fights. That's why you have drama. That's why you keep flowing in and out of relationships. That shit don't last. How do you expect your relationships to last when you're not your authentic self? You put on the face, right? We all try and put that best foot forward. But if we're not grounded as an adult or at any age, like if we don't truly know who we are, and I keep telling motherfuckers, how you know if you truly know who you are? Because you'll stand for it. You won't care, right? If it costs you your job, to be the honest, authentic version of yourself, you wouldn't care about that because you being who you are is more important than you being accepted by anybody else. Because in order to be accepted by someone else and even society at large, are you willing to continue losing parts of who you are? But here's the thing. Be so fucking prideful and arrogant with your story to not be willing to grow and change. See, that's the whole piece of this. It's not that, oh, here I am. I know who I am now. And I just get to be a fucking ass and just do whatever the fuck I want. It's not that, right? My guiding principle in life is to do good. I'm not trying to harm. I don't have no desire to harm any other human being on this earth. And I know I can. That's the thing. See, the difference is I know what I'm capable of doing. I know the amount of harm that I can cause people. But I'm in a place where I have gone through the process of healing, gone through the process of rebuilding myself as a man from the ground up. This ain't no fucking bullshit over here. This is my life. And when I saw myself on that darkest night, that darkest day, right? Getting into it with my wife at the time, drunk as a motherfucker, both of us just fucking getting after each other, just so angry and frustrated that, that shit led to me being arrested. It led to, having, domestic violence charges, divorce papers filed, restraining orders filed. I mean, I had to get a fucking legal team. I didn't even just lawyer up. I had to have a fucking legal team. I was faced with family court, criminal court, all this shit. And if I could save any one of you hearing my voice right now, a little bit of pain and suffering in your own life, shit, then it's worth it for me to turn the camera on and talk about my shit. Because we all got shit. I hope you watched that video from Saturday about all the shit, right? But most of us are scared to talk about our shit. And not even just going and confessing it to every person in your life. That's not courage, right? Courage is you saying, I need to be honest with myself. And I need to start figuring some shit out. I was talking to one of the fans yesterday, a client yesterday, and I'm grateful for this. Some of y'all think maybe the way that I'm talking and just the way this shit's coming together, right? That this is just for men. I have a lot of you ladies hearing this message, and it's resonating. And so I really pride myself in trying to say, look, I don't give a shit who you are. I don't judge no motherfucker, right? The only issue I got in life, right, is when you start fucking with kids, right? You start fucking around with little kids, right? And their innocence, that's a no-go for me. That's a motherfucking no-go. I will take your fucking ass out. You start fucking around with little kids. But beyond that, you an adult, I don't give a fuck what you believe, what you want to do with your life. I just want you to be the true and authentic version of yourself, the best version of yourself, right? We've been talking about codependency and just being so externally focused, right? So needing that validation from the world, from society. And there's all this pressure for it. There's so much pressure in this day and age to conform, right? You can't speak your truth. You could lose your job. You could lose your friends. You could lose your family. I mean, you could lose everything. There's people right now, they losing everything for standing for their truth, right? I've seen this shit. We've all seen it, right? Someone trying to stand for whatever their faith is, about certain shit and denying people services because they're a business owner. They get to choose who they serve. And I'm all for that. I think it's some bullshit. I think people trying to start shit with other people's fucked up too. But at the end of the day, where this whole fucking message circles back to, you guys, is who are you? What is your story? What is the story you're telling everybody? Right? Is it an honest story? Are you truly being honest with yourself? Or are you bullshitting everybody? Have you built your career? Have you built your friendships? Have you built your relationship off of lies? And when I say lies, that means you're holding back the truth. You haven't been 100% with people that love and care about you. And then they smell your shit because it comes out not in the form of truth. It comes out in all these other ways, these toxic behaviors, right? And it's not until we start doing what? Taking total ownership of our lives. Total ownership. That's what I had to do. That's the bridge I had to cross. I had to finally take full accountability. The good, the bad, and the fucking ugly. I had to take total ownership of it. Because if I didn't take total ownership of it, then all these other motherfuckers out there are going to continue to try and define me based on what they think, based on what they've read, what they've heard. And at the end of the day, none of that shit is even my business. I don't give a fuck what you think, what you say behind my back. Because most of y'all motherfuckers won't tell me anything to my face, right? Even my close friends, I have to like let them know. And that's a big part of this show. This is a safe place, right? No judgments here. You want to reach out to me behind the scenes on the back end, look, 100% confidentiality. I don't fuck around with that shit. You got a question, let your pride go, ask for some help, right? What's so fucking hard about just asking for a little bit of help? It is. It's a really hard thing. That's probably the most courageous thing that any one of you could do today. And I don't have all the fucking answers. Trust me. Right. So some of y'all come up with some shit and it's like, I don't have all the answers. I'm not trying to fucking pretend to have answers for every single person's problems, but I've been through enough life experience at 43 years of age, you know, that I can definitely be someone that can listen to you. And I want you to feel seen and heard. And hopefully I can give you some good advice just from my own perspective, out of my own experience that can hopefully benefit you. And I know I'm inspiring some people just by talking truth, just by letting all my shit fucking hang out. So I appreciate those of you that are showing up each and every day, right? And what we gonna do? We got goals to do, right? Every day, something new, something for you, and then something kind. That's just kind of getting up and feeling like fuck, doing something new, right? And some of y'all want to overthink this shit. Some of y'all want to over fucking think what something new could be, right? It could be getting a new haircut, right? Trying on some new clothes, right? Taking a new route to work, going to a new grocery store. You always go to this store, go try something new. And every time you make those new decisions, it's really what you're really doing there, you guys, what this practice of doing something new is about, is it's really opening up yourself, right? To go from a fixed mindset, from being in this like pre-programmed habitual life. Like how many of you guys are just going through a fucking routine now that it's like, it's so draining. It's so stressful. You look back, January 18th, 2021, if you're the same, if you feel about the same as you did last year, you're about the same pay, right? You're making about the same money you did last year, still haven't really gone on that dream vacation, still haven't really planned for it, still haven't really started exercising, still haven't really started eating healthier, right? All in the past year, you're just basically doing the same shit. Like, when the fuck are you going to put your foot down and say, enough? No one's coming to rescue you. No one's going to change your fucking life. You got to put in the work. But I've been harping on you motherfuckers as to how much time that you're putting in watching other people work, watching all them shows, watching all those fucking athletes. You're watching other motherfuckers work each and every day. You're giving up your time, right? And when I talk about giving up your time, right, the real question becomes, how do you keep your cup full, right? How many of you are running on absolute empty today? Empty. That fucking gaslight's been on for like a week or two. You guys finished last year empty. You're starting this new year empty, and you still ain't figured out a way to fill up your cup. How do you fill up your fucking cup? Well, I'm out here willing to show you how I fill up my cup. And it starts every single day, you guys. Every single day. You got to find waking up with some gratitude. You got to break those fucking stressed out, depressed, angry, worry, anxiety filled thoughts. First thing in the morning, right? I've been posting up some of those positive morning affirmations. If y'all think I'm fucking around with this shit, I listen to this shit every day. Every day, you guys, I have to get on there and listen to that shit. It's the first hour of my day, power hour. I usually slide in just right off the gate, man. I start just trying to say, okay, stop the thoughts. Whatever I'm thinking does not matter right now. The minute I wake up, whatever I'm thinking, done. Stop it. And then just start saying, what am I thankful for? Holy shit, I'm alive. Holy shit, I woke up in a warm bed. Holy shit, I got heat. Holy shit, I could go and get myself some coffee downstairs. I could take a hot shower. There's so much to be fucking grateful for. Too many of y'all motherfuckers taking this shit for granted. Just life. Basic life in general. We taking this shit for granted. Why? Because we have visions of grandeur. I'm there. I'm right there. And if you have a vision of something, a better situation for your life, guess what? It starts now. Today, you can start writing the story, formulating the goals and the dreams that you are going to set a roadmap to achieve that. Is it going to be a fucking easy process? Hell no. Hell no. It's not going to just happen. Because you got to figure out what you love, what you hate, what you want, and why. And once you kind of realize, okay, here's the things I absolutely love, here's the things I hate, here's what I want, and then why do you want it? And this is all shit that should be doing what? You should be journaling every day. Journal every day. You should be writing out your story. You should be putting a date on there so that you can do what? You could go back in, right? We're on what? January 18th. I'm going to tell you guys, when I first started this journal, this was a newer journal last year, and I started it November 3rd, right? November 3rd. A lot of the same shit. But guess what? There's a lot of really cool stuff in here when you start to create a track record of your story. And most of us, we're just so fucking caught up in the shit. The game called life. We're not in control, right? We feel enslaved to our jobs, to our relationship, to our obligations, to our responsibilities. And guess what? All those things just do what? They drain our cup, that life energy. So you need to figure out what the fuck fills up your cup. And I'm letting you guys know. First thing in the morning for me is mindfulness, right? It's getting into that attitude of gratitude, right? If y'all wake up every fucking day and you just depressed, sad, overwhelmed, anybody feel overwhelmed today? Right? Any of you overwhelmed? That's a psychological drama that's playing out in your head. You deserve better, and you are worthy of better. That's the thing. Most of us don't feel worthy. We struggle with our value. We think that money is what bases our value. It's not money. It's your motherfucking standards. Anybody got some standards over here? Right? Anybody got some high standards for them fucking selves? Or all y'all motherfuckers just digging in the fucking ditches, right? Eating out of cesspools of life, just down and depressed. And you just like to be around more people that are down and depressed all the time, right? Debbie Downers. That shit sucks. So you got to start taking your life for what it is. It's a very special thing, and you got choices. So I start off with mindfulness. That could be, you should start off with that attitude of gratitude, right? You should get in some affirmations and really just start changing the way you think. Some of us just can't generate our own sense of positive thinking, right? And because we can't come up with our own positivity, these affirmations are really powerful. And then secondly, it should be fitness. And that could be anything that just gets you to exercise. Go dust off that fucking piece of cardio equipment that you got sitting in your garage or in your living room that you ain't used in years. It's just sitting there dusty. You've been at home for 2-3 years now with COVID, and you still ain't jumping on that thing. You'd rather sit on the fucking couch, digging on the couch, eating them snacks and that junk food, knowing that shit makes you feel horrible. That was embarrassing how our country, the COVID-20, we're all entitled to not feel guilty about putting on all this fucking extra weight, man. You know what? Results kill excuses. That's some bullshit, man. That's barely surviving. Buying into the hype. Oh, the COVID-20. Everybody gets to put on 20 fucking pounds. Bullshit. Y'all are seeing it. Half of you guys check the fuck out for the last 2 years. And the other half of us, we thrived. We said, oh shit, what a great opportunity for us to fucking finally put ourselves first, start thriving on life, start taking better care of our health, right? Controlling our nutrition. We all just stayed here at home all day long. You could control your nutrition. All those meals that you don't have to go eat fucking fast food and at the restaurants, right? Some of you could have fixed and repaired your finances, but instead you check the fuck out. We can't do nothing about that, right? That's time lost. You'll never get it back. And that's what I'm trying to wake up every single day and inspire you guys to start fucking taking ownership of your life. Every fucking day matters. Every day counts. We are all going on an expiration. We all know that there is a time and a place that you will be no more. And if you ain't fucking living with a purpose in life, you're just numbing the pain like me for years, man. For years, I just fucking numbed the pain with my vices, with that toxic fucking relationship with alcohol, the drunk motherfucker, just trying to ease and just soothe the pain, right? Using that as the means for me to be socially accepted, right? To have relationships, to feel like, I'm important enough, that other people care about me, but those motherfuckers, ain't nobody care about you more than you need to care about yourself. There's some good people out there. I hope everybody has at least one good fucking friend, one person that'll actually listen to you that you trust. But most of us, that's a hard fucking pill to swallow, trying to find someone that truly, genuinely gives a shit. Because guess what? We ain't honest with ourselves. We ain't honest with other people, all the shit we're doing. Why? Because we want acceptance. Right? I suffered from abandonment issues like crazy growing up as a little kid. Single mother, right? Having her go and start a whole nother family. Man, I had so many abandonment issues. And yet that creates what? Anxious attachment styles, toxic relationship. So I've been having to work on myself. And that's been this whole story of 10 years of sobriety, is choosing me over my vices for 10 years straight. I think that was, 3,400 and probably about 60 some days now, right? We're moving towards the 10-year mark. July 22nd, 2022, 7-2-2-2-2-2. Lots of twos in there. Deuce is wild. Because that was my whole thing. The whole kick on this year is saying, look, 2022, this needs to be a bucket list year. It's time to start fucking re-embracing life. Looking at your life, writing down some goals, writing down some dreams, and then coming up with some fucking plans to help you accomplish that shit. Right? Don't you want to accomplish some shit in your life? Don't you want to do something amazing this year? I keep talking to people and they're like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. I'm like, start now. Right? Anybody want to go and visit another country this year? And you're sitting there saying, there ain't no fucking way. I don't got a passport. I ain't got the extra money. I don't got the time off, right? I don't got PTO to go on a vacation. It would cost me a gazillion because my whole family. What about you go on a fucking solo trip? Anybody ever go solo traveling, right? I bet you that would break up some marriages and some relationships if you chose yourself to go on a trip, to go date yourself on a trip. Right? Because right away, all those insecurities come out. Oh, you cheating on me. Oh, you doing this. And some of y'all would do that. Some of y'all have done that. That's some bullshit, man. I'm talking about genuine self-care, self-love, and being in a safe and secure relationship to where if you need to do some self-care, and that means some time away to go travel, that you're not going to have some spouse that's like ready to abandon you for you wanting to take care of yourself. Ain't that some shit? And I know there's a lot of people out here that are in those relationships. Those are toxic relationships. They're very codependency. Our lives and our identity is not in ourselves. It is in the relationship and that role. I was there, right? I was a husband and a father more than I was Greg, right? The drunk motherfucker. But it took getting what? Divorced 21 years, right? It took me getting to that point of brokenness to get into a divorce, and my divorce was not painful, and it wasn't like a drawn out battle. The expiration of my 21-year marriage couldn't have been more peaceful. And I think that's hard for a lot of you motherfuckers to believe, especially if you were following, my political aspirations running for city council here in Santa Fe, New Mexico, because right there at that home stretch when all my bullshit, all my skeletons came out in the news publicly, right? Domestic violent candidate, wife beater, all this bullshit that they created that narrative, even though that shit was like 10 years old. Even back then, it was old as fuck. I wasn't the man I am today. And so I shrunk and I allowed that to play itself out. I didn't fall out of the race. And, it didn't even really change the dynamic between me and my ex-wife at the time. We were already crystal clear on what our future was. And our future was going to be going down separate paths. And we were able to make that a peaceful transition, a peaceful process. And my hope is that my ex will be joining me at some point here in the future on this show so that we can hopefully inspire some of you co-parenting divorcees out there to quit, knock your shit off, quit being a fucking ass to your fucking partner, your ex-partner that still has to be a co-parent with you. Quit being an ass. Quit making shit about money and time and all this bullshit. Quit hurting people, right? Them kids need to know their parents. And I'm a fatherless father. I never had my biological father in my life. And there's plenty of reasons why, and everybody wants to make excuses. At the end of the day, the dude wasn't there. Right? He came into my life he was there when I was super young. And then my mom had to excommunicate me, right? The violence and the abuse, physical and mental, just the shit that went down, man. Some of this shit was fucking medieval. Some of y'all don't want to hear that either, right? If I got family members coming on here, you're like, I'm not trying to shame nobody, but I'm owning my story. And if I hurt someone else's feelings, if someone else don't want to hear it because you think this is about shaming people, I ain't trying to shame nobody. But we need to start owning our truth. We need to quit bullshitting ourselves, bullshitting every other motherfucker, trying to put the fucking lipstick on the pig to make it look good. It's like, nah, if you got some flaws, if you got some shit, you got to own it. And the best way for you to start that process of ownership is to get yourself a notebook and to start writing this shit down. Journal every day, you guys. Journal every fucking day. Write this shit down. And where does this start? Gratitude. Like a damn broken record. I keep telling you guys, every fucking day it starts with gratitude. So how do we start? We write down the date. And I usually give myself some affirmations. I usually talk to myself like, I ain't in any kind of relationship right now. So I usually give myself those good morning texts, right? Good morning, handsome. I like that shit, right? I have a relationship. I have a healthy relationship with myself. I fully accept and love myself for who I am. And what I'm learning to do each and every day, really over the course of like the past, this really became more intensive over probably about the past 8 months, is I really started to realize what it was going to take for me to give myself the love that I want from someone else in this earth, right? When I try and think of like the perfect, most ideal life partner, right? To come into my life, a person that like, what are all those things? What are the things that I would greatly most appreciate from another person that I would want to choose to do life with, right? Because that's what we want. Healthy relationships. We're choosing each other, choosing to do life with each other. It's like I had to realize through all these years of therapy and through going through those toxic relationships is that the love that I want someone else to show me, I need to get to a point that I show myself that I truly can like love myself. Like it's a big thing. It sounds fucking corny as fuck. I get it. But it was such a breakthrough when I realized that I do love myself. I'm super grateful that I get to do life as Greg Scargill, the drunk motherfucker. Right. I get to go and explore and hike and exercise and do life with me. And I hope that you can start getting there, because I know a lot of you don't have that level of self-confidence and self-esteem because we're so externally focused, right? We don't feel good, right? Because we're carrying around all these unresolved traumas. We don't want to get help because we're worried about what other people will think if we go to a therapist, we get some therapy. We're worried about how these people will judge us and if they'll accept us. And in some cases, if we actually start standing for ourselves and what we love and what we care for, right? People will threaten to abandon us. Happened here on this show last week. I had, family members telling me to change it up, switch it up, quit talking about all that, quit using them fucking bad words like I'm some little fucking bratty kid. Don't come at me like that. I'm a grown ass motherfucking man, right? And this is my story. You ain't gonna edit my story. So I'm gonna share everything and anything because I accept myself. And yet it takes a lot to get to that place of courage where you can truly start to accept yourself, love yourself, and give yourself that love so that when other people reject you, it's like, it's okay. Like, you can lose people that aren't meant for you. It's okay for them to leave. You may be visually stimulated by their beauty and their physique and their, even just the loving that they gave there. But when you start to grow and change, trust me, I had that. Has anybody gone through recovery? Right? When you go through recovery, when you start putting your foot down, I'm not going to drink no more, right? I'm not going to go out and party anymore. I want to start working on myself. I want to start, instead of going out to happy hour, I'm going to spend that time doing what? Personal development. And guess what? You usually, your close friends say, oh, you're too good. Oh, you think you're better than us. I mean, all this shaming, man, from the fucking outside. It's horrible. How many of y'all done that? Some of y'all done that, man, where you shame your fucking friends, the people you say you care about, because what? They want to start doing some positive changes in their life. And none of us want to do that, right? We all want to see. What happens is when you start wanting to put your life together, those friends, the people that are probably contributing more to the bad parts of your life, the toxic fucking shit, the stuff that brings you down and doesn't build you up. When you start to say enough's enough, those people are going to like guilt trip you and say, oh, you think you're better than us. You think you're this, you think you're that. Right. And that's a damn shame that's the reality that so many of us live in, is that when we want to try and improve our lives, those people that are not good for us, that we are holding on to because we want to feel that we're not alone in this world, when that is the whole existence. Your whole entire existence is a lonely thing. But it doesn't, see, there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. And so after 10 years of sobriety, you guys, 2 years after the divorce, and a lot of time alone, not lonely, alone, there's a difference. I've really been able to look myself in the mirror. I got to a point where I could look myself in the mirror and truly know what it is to forgive myself, to accept myself, and to love myself unconditionally. Like unconditionally, guys. And there's a lot of us out there hurting so much, right? That's this pain. That's what substance abuse is about. It's not just like, everything's wonderful in my life and I'm just going to get high all day, or I'm just going to get drunk, right? I just need to have that buzz because it's just enjoyable. That's bullshit. That's lies. The reason why we go to that is because there's an underlying trauma, there's pain and there's suffering, and we're numbing. It's a way for us to numb ourselves, to not have to deal with the pain and sit inside of ourselves, right? And allow for that pain to process, right? Because the more that we just numb the pain, we think somehow we're getting rid of the pain. We think we're somehow processing some healing, and it's not. Time can heal, But if you just bury that shit down, 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 deep, deep, deep inside of you, that's not healing, right? That's not what it's about. And so we go back to this. Results kill excuses. Here we are, week 3. How many of y'all motherfuckers still on the sidelines? How many of you guys are actually getting some shit done? Do we got some success stories out here? Do we actually have some people that are choosing to thrive through life? That are willing to like say, I need help. I can't do this shit on my own. Reach out to me. I don't have all the answers, but I will be someone that listens to you, that appreciates you, right? That will hopefully you will leave our conversation feeling seen and heard, and you'll hopefully have a new challenge. I talked to someone yesterday, and this person had some health issues, and I asked this person, what did those health issues mean to them? Like, what was the meaning of this health issue? So let's just create an example. Like if you're someone that's had cancer, right? If you've had cancer, ask yourself, well, what does cancer mean to you? And whatever that first thought is, like that needs to be your answer. Don't try and fix it so that you somehow are right or can be accepted by other people. You really need to just be honest with yourself, right? And in this instant, this person didn't have a definition for something that has changed their life. It changed, like this medical issue has altered the quality of life, right? From before this happened to after, there's a difference in quality of life. And when I asked this person straight on, what does that mean to you? What does this medical issue mean to you? And they didn't have an answer. And the reason why I really felt that was important is because you have to give things meaning, you guys. It's very empowering when you can look at something. Very painful in my own situation when I can look back at the domestic violence arrest, right? As shameful as that is, as hard as that used to be to look at my mugshot. 10 years ago, there was my 10-year challenge, right? The mugshot and now. And it's like, what does that mean to me? Does that mean to me that, am I someone that's going to give it meaning as if, that's, I'm never going to earn the trust of a woman ever again because I made that mistake? Does that mean that, I'm never going to be able to get certain types of jobs? So do I look at a bad situation from a victim's mentality, even if I was the one that hurt somebody really important to my life? Do I still look at it as a victim, or do I try and change the meaning of something like that and say that was the most transformational moment of my life? It took me hitting that bottom to wake up. That was the moment that I realized that I had to change. So that was definitely one of the most significant moments in my life because it started me on this journey of rediscovery, of transformation, right? And through the course of the last 10 years, you guys, in my 30s, I finished 3 college degrees. I built an award-winning program, nationally recognized at Santa Fe Community College, serving veterans and their families, receiving a national award for myself in 2016 from Student Veterans of America, being the National Veteran Advisor of the Year. I transformed programs and services in my own community to serve veterans and their families, creating emergency funds and free fitness passes at the recreational fitness centers. And so I've made a huge difference. I got to be an amazing father in some of the most precious years of my children's life, right? Because I chose to say no to the alcohol and say yes to life. And it hasn't been easy. Life is full of ups and downs. And through all of those ups and downs, through those darkest nights when I was wanting to take my own life, right? I had to finally get to a place where I could just take total ownership, total fucking ownership, no excuses, right? Excuses don't get us nowhere, right? Excuses don't answer any of our problems. They keep us tied down to that situation, and we stop growing. So the only way to get past that, in my experience, has been to start journaling, getting professional therapy, right? I still go to therapy twice a week, you guys, 2 times a week. And it's not because I'm all fucked up, but it's just that if I start to let it go, if I start to change my program, guess what? The road downhill is a lot faster than the road up. So you start letting shit go. It, like, before you know it, man, I'll be fat and fucking nasty, and I'll be drinking, and I probably will wind up either dead or in jail if I start to let my shit go again. And I don't ever want to feel that way. That's why I'm stepping out to give you guys some inspiration and to share my story with you in such a refreshing, transparent way, man. Y'all know there ain't no bullshit around here. I'm just getting fucking real. And it took me 10 years to get fucking real and honest with myself, taking complete and total ownership of my life. I could blame all kinds of shit for the reasons why my life isn't the way I imagined it to be at this stage and this age and this day. I had a lot of different visions of what my life was going to become. But at 43 years old, I know my life could have been a lot worse. I know it could have been a lot better. But guess what? I'm just grateful that I still got life. And greatest of all is I got freedom. And everyone hearing my voice, I don't know anybody that's locked up right now watching the It's All On Me, the morning drinking show. So that tells me all y'all motherfuckers got freedom. And even if you didn't have freedom, you still got choice. And your choice today should be to do what? To take life on, to have a positive attitude, right? To start taking care of yourself. What do you got to do to take care of yourself? And it goes back to what? Some goals. These are just simple little goals, guys. Do something new. When you start doing even the most littlest things new, change up what you eat for breakfast, right? You know the unhealthy shit you're eating. Switch to some healthy stuff. And this week I will. I'm committed to sharing with you guys a few of my morning nutritional go-tos every day. I drink a huge ass freaking nutrition bomb every day after working out, and I do overnight oats. And so those 2 meals alone could start to help you to do something new. But why don't you do something new today? Don't have to be anything crazy. And it could be the 2-in-1, doing something new and doing something for you. What breaks my heart are those of you that are in toxic relationships where you have to play the support character to someone else's story called life. And you know that if you stop playing that support character, you actually start to say, advocate for yourself and say, hey, partner, hey, person that loves me, I wanted to do this thing. It's really important to me. And you know, man, if they shut you the fuck down, they say, oh, nah, you ain't doing that. That ain't happening. I mean, that means you've delegated all your life existence to someone else. And it's called love. Because see, the thing is if they truly loved you, wouldn't they support you? Shouldn't we be supporting each other, cheering each other on? How many of y'all are cheering other people on with like genuine like gratitude and like positive vibes? Like when you see someone out there thriving and accomplishing, whether it's an educational accomplishment or maybe it's as a parent, you know, you have an achievement, or as a person you've lost some weight, or you tried something new, or you went to a new place. Like how many of you guys are seeing this stuff on social media and cheering people on and saying, yeah, fuck yeah, that's awesome, I'm so happy for you? How many of y'all are just disgruntled? You're like, fuck this guy, he don't deserve that, she don't deserve that, she don't look that good, she didn't do this, he didn't do that. Why do they get to do all that? And you're just negative. And again, that's why we start every single day waking up with some gratitude, being grateful. Grateful for life. This day is a very valuable day, you guys. I hope you will take the opportunity to choose you first. And I'm very encouraged by those of you that are choosing yourself first, right? It's a break from the norm, right? Because normally we're having to do what? We're having to maintain all these other relationships, right? You have to manage relationships. If any relationship you're in, if that relationship's in good shape, it's because you're managing it well. That means you're giving your time and your attention, your energy to invest in it. But those relationships that suck, you got to really take inventory if it's truly worth your time and energy to continue managing some of these relationships. There's people you have there just to have there. They don't actually give a shit about who you are, what your dreams are, what your goals are. They're not challenging you to fucking become better, a better version of yourself each and every day. But guess what? You could count on me to do that. You guys keep showing up. We don't take no days off, no excuses. We take total ownership here. And I'm going to continue to share this message to challenge you guys to grow each and every day. But when we start to look at our stories, these traumatic events, the things that we're not proud of, we have to give them meaning. You already have given a meaning. But as I'm challenging you to give things a fresh perspective, a fresh look, you now need to start writing this shit down. Some of y'all today, here's your assignment for today, journal entry for today. How do I feel? Can any of you sit there and write a paragraph, right? 5 to 7 sentences, truly capturing how you are feeling today when you woke up? Are you feeling amazing and great? Well, make 5 to 7 sentences that just celebrate the joy and the happiness you have for life. Don't bullshit yourself. You need to really get in check with who you are and really examine, how are you feeling? Do you feel like shit? Or do you feel amazing? Right? But let's do some good writing today about, I'm feeling stressed out. I'm feeling anxious. I don't want to go to work. I hate my job. I keep telling myself I'm going to go back to school and get an associate's, or, finish up my degree, or, start a new health regimen, change up my nutrition, start exercising on a regular basis, start, doing some correspondence classes or learning a new skill, right? To be able to improve myself today. Yes, little by little, but ultimately it's with having a goal that regardless of what age you're at, it's never too late. If you still have life, you get to experience life on your terms and quit living it so vicariously through other people. So I'm challenging you today to do your journal entry on writing a paragraph about how you feel. And once you've kind of fleshed out, and again, it's either a positive or negative. There's no question in my mind. You either are feeling really good, feeling optimistic, feeling hopeful, or you're feeling the opposite. You're feeling like shit. You're feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling anxious. You're feeling depressed. You're feeling sad. You're feeling angry, right? And you need to write that shit down. And then if you could continue the conversation with yourself, once you've actually been able to say, I feel this way, I'm feeling very angry. I don't like how this person's been treating me, or I don't like how I've been treating myself, right? A lot of us are fucking way harder on ourselves than anybody could ever be on us, but we hide that shit. We bark at somebody, we snap at them when they are a little mean to us, but we know we beat the fuck out of ourselves every single day. And someone barely comes with just a little, they speak into our life, right? They speak into our life something that exposes a vulnerability of who we are, and right away we snap at them. And we know it, we snap at them because it's making us uncomfortable. We don't want them to think, how dare you think I'm like that? When people smell our shit, people smell it, they see it. They're not just making this shit up. Most people are not literally trying to hurt you when they say something that shines a dull light on your life. It doesn't just, oh wow, you're such an amazing something. Who doesn't want to be given a good compliment? but you should value the person that can give you that honest feedback, right? And most of the times we know that there is something there that's not sitting right with us as a human. And we need to flesh this out in our daily journals. We really need to spend some time thinking about our feelings, describing our feelings. And then what becomes really cool is if you can get to that point where you've put down either all the positive and all the negative, then you can really start to strategize, well, how do I change this up? How can I take ownership of my situation to improve how I feel? And do you think any of this shit would help? Do you think any of these daily 5 values that I walk around with, do you think if you spend 10 to 30 minutes every day, right? Listening to gratitude, doing some meditation, right? Do you think getting some exercise, 60 to 90 minutes a day would help? Do you think eating healthier nutrition could help you to start turning away from the negative and into the positive? Do you think if you stopped the Netflix marathons, right? Or at least cut back on them, 2 episodes of Netflix and then 2 episodes of you, of the things you want to do, right? That's that professional development. You watch some videos, you learn, learning about some NFTs, learning about investing, learning about financing, learning about, if you wanted to be a life coach, a nutrition coach, you wanted to get back into fitness, anything you want to learn about that can improve your life and build up new skills in you, that's personal development. Listening to a book, right? Listening to a book that has interest, that's personal development. That's enrichment. Sitting on the fucking couch watching the tube is zombie mode. You ain't doing shit. And then finally, it's making a difference. Me personally, those of you that know my story, I volunteer with an organization called Team Rubicon, thousands of hours every year. But I also like to go right here in my own backyard, help out at the Food Depot, help out at homeless shelters, help out with the Keep Our Community Beautiful days, cleaning up trash and dirty heroin fucking needles, right? In our neighborhoods and in our streets. And it's like, what are you doing to improve your environment, to improve your situation? And that's what it all comes down to. And the funny motherfucking thing about all this shit is you know what you need to do. I had someone reach out to me this morning. They were reaching out to give me some compliment and appreciate me for coming on here each and every day, that I've been inspiring them and giving them some encouragement. And I'm very thankful for each of you guys. Continue, man. Share those stories. Share those stories. If one of you is actually doing something positive right now, you're actually starting to see, wow, this journaling is working. Wow, I've really started to get back in exercise. Share those stories in the comments. Let other people know that this is legit, that this shit does work. It ain't a fucking magic show, right? It ain't going to happen overnight. You see me, I'm putting in that work every day, every fucking day, putting in the work to become a better version of myself. No fucking excuses. I'm done. I'm done worrying about if you accept me or don't accept me for who I am. I'm not proud of every chapter of my life, but I've taken ownership and I've put myself out there to transform myself, right? Developing discipline each and every day to do the things I don't feel like doing, right? I didn't feel like going to the gym yesterday. I didn't feel like trying to deadlift 495 pounds 2 times. And even though I wasn't successful, again, that second rep up, 495 pounds, I wasn't successful. I still tried it. And I put myself out there. And then I can build off that today, because that is now strengthened my mind as to what truly is my reality. And I'm toughening myself. I'm becoming the best version of myself each and every day, because that's the only person I'm competing with. I ain't competing with any of you. And guess what? You ain't competing with me. We're just all doing this life. No one has the perfect plan, you guys. No one. Y'all look at people that are successful, or living the good life, or man, you were just born in all this wealth, all this envy and jealousy and shit. Trust me, man. You see these motherfuckers. They kill themselves. They overdose. They live miserable lives, right? Money is not the answer to all our problems. The answer to all our problems is getting honest and real. And in 2022, the new sexy is being healthy and whole. And the new cool is getting that motherfucking therapy, asking for some help. So go out there, go do what you got to do, go take life by storm, go put some positive energy into your world today. Show up with a fucking real positive attitude, not some bullshit smile, not some plastic fucking smile because you hate it. You hate what you're doing. Show up loving life, being grateful, but having a fucking plan. If you are not content with your situation today, you got a choice to start making a difference, to start changing your story. And it doesn't mean it's going to change overnight. It may take months, it may take a year, but it starts fucking now. And we don't quit, right? We don't give up. We learn how to take a rest. We learn how to ask for help. And we are honest with ourselves. Thrive through life. No more fucking excuses.